Hey man, look here. Y'all know everybody and their mama, whether you're a person that follows politics and you want to know what's going on in life, or you're an aloof person to life and you just saw what it looks like between those two for the first time ever.
They gotta be aloof.
I know.
They gotta be aloof.
Because I guess I have this thing. I got this issue with people first time seeing this kind of thing, and they're like, and they so it's so shocked to them some of these points and stuff. But if you had to pull up X, or you have to do just barely a little information, this won't be so shocking to people. Like, oh, this is dumb. This don't make sense. Where are they coming from? Because you don't know. You don't pay attention to nothing. All you doing, you still watching whatever. Black culture, hip hop stuff, some still love and hip hop kind of mindset, and I get tired of folks like that. It'd be so brand new to you because you just don't know that this exists.
It just gotta be the blacks.
It's us. It's us. I can't speak for white people. I'm not white.
I'm just talking about any other nationality in general, boo.
Who else?
An American citizen. How about that? Let's dial into them. Because some of the people, even when we were at Balboa Beach, some people weren't even tapped in.
I can't speak for them.
Okay.
But them too. But
all right, y'all.
I guess I'm speaking biased because this is what I be seeing on Facebook. I'm like, man, y'all people
it's okay. I got you.
Goofy.
But okay, what you gotta say about it?
So I had to do this clip. Officer Tatum kind of fact checked because y'all know everything that it was a 3-against-1 against Kamala, and they only fact checked
Donald. You mean
against Donald, and they only tried to fact check Donald. They let Kamala run free. So Officer Tatum, shout out to him. He clipped and he saw all the stuff, everything that debunks everything this woman was saying. This is all a part of that shame that I told you that's gonna come up on this woman. So let me tell you real quick. As I was sitting there listening to some of her responses, I just felt like I was watching a movie. I just felt like it was so fake. Yeah. And like, this is so not true. Many of the points. But okay, let's watch it. I just felt like I was like, okay, what a show from her perspective. Trump, to me, did a really good job. He's not a Vivek. He's not a debater, but he's going to give you facts. He can tell you based off his track record and how he's still been in the game since then. That's why I like Trump and I support him. He ain't going to sit here and fluff and tell you anything different. Pull up his stuff and all his stuff is going to match. All is going to match.
Let's watch her.
Shout out to Tatum. But I had to do this because he did his research on this, and I was like, okay,
this is absolutely outstanding. This is what we needed to be clear, to be clear for our own selves.
Exactly. Y'all kick this off. Watch this if you haven't already.
They talked about gun buyback. I got every lie on here. You can see it at the top of the screen. Gun buyback. I'm gonna let it roll. Roll the film.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Okay. The moderator didn't fact check her, so we did.
I do believe that we need to do buybacks. I support buybacks.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory. We want to ban assault weapons. We need an assault weapons ban.
Run from these people.
We need reasonable gun safety laws in this country, starting with universal background checks and a renewal of the assault weapon ban. I'm also in favor of the assault weapons ban, of universal background checks, red flag laws. Congress needs to have the courage to act and renew the assault weapons ban. So it's clear that we must renew the assault weapons ban.
All the time, look at this.
We have an assault weapons ban. We need an assault weapons ban.
Yo.
Demanding, as we all do, red flag laws, universal background checks, and a renewal of the assault weapons ban. We're saying,
and the left and the way left people are like, we got to do something about these guns. Yeah, because your leader is talking about that, and she just told y'all we got guns. Why would we want to take yours away? This is so fake.
we need reasonable gun safety laws, including universal background checks, and to your point, Chris, a renewal of the assault weapons ban. It's just the right thing to do. But we still need an assault weapons ban. And yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing.
How many times she said it?
From decisions is my values have not changed. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
See?
But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
See?
And
That's
the
who he was
Supreme
talking about.
Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
I'm so
No
tired of y'all.
exception. There was a very contentious committee hearing yesterday when Fairfax County.
And this is when Donald Trump was talking about the former governor. This is him talking about abortions after birth.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just jump in on this. The moderators, they had no business. This wasn't the news, so you had no business come in with stating your whatever information you found, because that just make it look like they show
Exactly.
how you're teaming up on this man. You don't interject anything into that. You only ask the questions and move to the next moderator. That's it.
Right.
She allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
under Roe v. Wade,
Answer the question, would you veto?
You could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
Delegate Kathy Tran made her case for lifting restrictions on 3rd trimester abortions, as well as other restrictions now in place. And she was pressed by a Republican delegate about whether her bill would permit an abortion even as a woman is essentially dilating, ready to give birth. And she answered that it would permit an abortion at that stage of labor. Do you support her measure, and explain her answer?
Yeah, and I wasn't there, Julie, and I certainly can't speak for Delegate Tran, but I would tell you first thing I would say, this is why decisions such as this should be made by providers, physicians, and the mothers and fathers that are involved. There are, when we talk about 3rd trimester abortions, these are done with the consent of obviously the mother, with the consent of the physicians, more than one physician, by the way. And it's done in cases where there may be severe deformities, there may be a fetus that's non-viable. So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable.
Delivered.
The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers. And this is why, Julie, that legislators, most of whom are men, by the way, shouldn't be telling a woman what she should and shouldn't be doing with her body.
And do you think multiple physicians should have to weigh in, as is currently required? She's trying to lift that requirement.
Well, I think it's always good to get a second opinion, and for at least 2 providers to be involved in that decision, because these decisions shouldn't be taken lightly. And so, I would certainly support more than one provider.
All right, let's go back to the phones now for the governor. We're going to talk now with Mike, who's calling.
We're going to call the abortion facility, and I'm going to tell them I'm pregnant with a 32-week fetus, as you say. Hi, I just turned 32 weeks pregnant. Am I able to come in for an abortion ASAP?
I wouldn't be able to see you till the week of the 23rd, so that would put you at 34 weeks.
Wow.
Can I still have an abortion at 34 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I just have to do an intake.
Look at that.
You have about 5 minutes.
Sure, I have 5 minutes. Yeah, I just found out that she could have Down syndrome. I can still have the abortion, right, even though she has Down syndrome?
Yeah, so we just have to do an intake because the doctor...
It doesn't fucking matter. That's late-term abortion, ma'am. That's abortion in the 8th month of pregnancy that's discriminatory based on someone's genetic code. She just confirmed she would commit an abortion on me with my child who's viable and can live outside the womb.
They didn't push back on it at all. They came out and said there is no state in the union that allows this. I just showed 2 clips. How can they not? How can the moderators not fact check this? They actually fact check the complete lie. Here's another thing. Governor Tim Walz, babies born alive in botched abortions were left to die. Then he removed the reporting requirements. Facts. All right, let's move on to the defund the police.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
Look, right. So here's the thing. Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
And then also, again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools. And taking police officers out of schools.
not in this day and age. Sorry.
Right.
In the bloodbath law.
Trump, the candidate, had said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car.
Let's go.
Come on. Going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
I was at the Capitol.
Which is 100% bloodbath refers to the economy.
Yeah.
All you got to do is look up the definition of bloodbath.
Yeah.
The moderators knew it, but they didn't say anything. They didn't fact check.
Nope.
Why didn't they do that?
No, they were there in support of her. We know that.
6th. This woman claimed that she was there on January 6th. Roll the clip.
On January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there.
Tonight of Kamala Harris. Where were you on January 6th when you were almost hurt or killed by a pipe bomb outside of the DNC?
Exactly.
Because you've never spoken of this publicly. And we're kind of confused why you keep implying to people you were at the Capitol when you were not. You were at the Democrat national headquarters there at the DNC in Washington, D.C.
Here's a video of her leaving the Capitol building before anything happened.
Yeah, I was there. You were gone.
This is a surveillance video of her leaving the Capitol building before anything happened. How were you there? Fact checkers got this video like we got the video. And they didn't fact check this woman. Project 2025, been debunked 1,000 times. She said it on the debate. The moderators didn't say nothing about it.
We're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again.
The breaking news is Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025.
Director.
Sure, a lot of us have worked in the admin and came together, but this started long before he even announced for president.
See? Over. It's over.
Do with Project 2025.
I promise you. Hold on, let me stop right here. I promise you. Anytime I see somebody talk about that, I don't care if y'all ain't talking to me. You making a post about that and you on my friends list or something like that, I'm just gonna copy and just paste this random link will be in there and you click on it and they're gonna be like,
because that is so
move
common. And I'm like, no, but he's not even affiliated. It's a whole another set of people. He's even said this in several of his videos several of his speeches being out campaigning. He said this. He's like, I don't even know what is that. He made me aware of it now. But when he was originally being tied to it, he was completely clueless as to what this was.
Exactly. And that's the guy that CNN will show him on Trump's plane. That's the former director. And they could talk and they could chat, but that don't mean that's Project 2025. The man just said that this was before.
Exactly.
This is way before Trump entered. This is something we been had, but that don't necessarily mean
that they're talking about that.
Exactly.
He a businessman. Don't forget that. First, he's a businessman first.
Fact check. They got the same video I just seen. All right, let's go with the eating the pet thing. This is a big one.
You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individs within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying
manager.
their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Clark County.
This is a police.
Why can't they play this stuff
radio
in the middle of the interviews?
Communication.
Debates.
About a person calling in regarding Haitians eating these animals. Listen to it.
Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today.
It's crazy.
And I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last numbers was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on.
They were eating them like hot wings.
Ugh. Disgusting.
There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of towards downtown.
Okay, and what path are you on?
Right now, hold on just a second. I'm coming to the intersection of. Give me a second here. It says Water and Warder Street.
Water and Warder. Is that the area you saw them?
Yes. It was about 2 minutes back behind me. I was trying to get my phone out and trying to make it to this orientation on time. I'm kind of searching here. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be reported.
So how many geese did they have?
They each had 1.
And y'all have to understand where they're from. They not seeing these loose animals run around unattended. No one going after them. But over here, we got animals like this all the time. We go to the grocery store. We not messing with the local wildlife for food. They're just living in an environment and living how they're supposed to live. But then you look at clips of Port-au-Prince. You ain't seeing no animals. Maybe in other parts of Haiti. But when you look at like Port-au-Prince and stuff like that, where stuff is going down, I don't see not one thing that's crawling or walking or waddling.
Remember that TikTok we did with the duck was walking down the street. We were going to the farmer's market. This, not the Diamond Bar, but the other one.
Yeah.
In Riverside.
Yeah. And
it was hilarious. I'm like,
now,
oh my God, look at this duck crossing the street.
Imagine in 2024, they'd be like, oh my God, 6-piece nugget.
You wrong. Oh my gosh.
Now, the Toyota Tacoma did look like a newer model.
Where they get that from?
All right, so that's a 911 call. Here's a citizen at the city council talking about it.
Y'all know we did this one.
Cans. They're running into buildings. They flipping cars in the middle of the street. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, and I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it.
What did you do?
Exactly.
Here's a video that people are alleging this is one of these migrants in this apartment complex eating a cat right here.
Why'd you kill the cat? Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we caught up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it? She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
Didn't that sound like the response of people that were genuine? They were like, yeah, she was eating it. Because that's the response of two people that saw it, and they were like, that was disgusting.
Yes, 911, please. Come on.
And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people,
That's what's
our
going on.
land, or our life's work.
Yeah.
People living their life here the way they did in Haiti. Angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth.
Now let's talk about fracking.
Let me get a pull up. Let me get a 2-piece meow and a little bit of quack.
In your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss every one of at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes. And starting,
I'm telling you, this is her. This is part of her destruction. This is her. This going against her because they have just it's so much raw facts on her saying the opposite, and this is what's going to take her down. She's not going to be able to win after these.
Yeah.
And starting with what we can do on day one around public lands.
So you can take that part.
And,
No,
and then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities.
See,
Yeah.
look how
So thank
sincere she was about her lie.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes. And I've, again, worked on that.
And worked on it. Done something about it. Sent people.
They didn't fact check none of this.
Nothing.
They let this go on and on and on and on. And it's just 9 of them. I'm sure there's a ton more. It was a travesty to watch people that claim to moderate for the American people. And they could not be honest to save their lives. I just show all the lies. And I may just upload this as a video. You can just share it without me even doing commentary. But they just posted, they just told complete lies. Donald Trump was right about tons of things, and they did not verify or fact check it. And the things that they fact checked, they were wrong about.
Right.
The city mayor, the city manager says that there's no credible reports. I just showed a phone call, a 911 call. A person is in the city and a video of somebody eating a cat that they were a body camera. What are you
just a
talking
couple of
about?
the resources out there. It's others.
The good people on both sides think Ben debunked, Snopes debunked it. I played you what Donald Trump actually said. The video been out for, 10 years now. It can't have been 10 years, but it's been out for a while. What do you want to say, fracking? She just said she worked on it in California. They got this video like we got the video. But you know what they did? They prepared the debate with her team.
Yep.
And they looked up everything that Donald Trump would have said, and they got a fact check against him.
Yep.
They didn't fact check nothing that she said.
At all.
They didn't fact check nothing that Joe Biden said in the last debate that was debunked. The bloodbath, everything. They let her just say everything.
You're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so people like me and others have to come out and make these videos, try to throw these things together real quick to prove that these people are fraudulent.
Exactly.
Now, in my next video, I'm going to show specifically why the moderators were biased.
Yeah.
I'm going to show what they said. I'm going to show their clear bias. And even Dr. Phil brought an expert on to show and prove of their body language and their bias against Donald Trump. If Stevie Wonder concede this was a sham.
Right.
Of course.
And I wouldn't be shocked
Of course.
if they didn't give her the questions ahead of time
Yep.
and prepare with
Emailed.
her campaign
Emailed.
for this debate to go her way.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's no way in the world they just didn't fact check anything.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world that they didn't talk about the assassination attempt. There's no way in the world that this was a legitimate debate.
It wasn't.
They dropped the ball so hard on one side.
Yeah.
Anyway, share this with your friends. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Listen, that CNN with Trump and Joe Biden was that debate was way better. It wasn't biased. It was done professionally.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like CNN no more, it was done very professionally.
Well, right.
And it was nothing where I was concerned with the moderators having input, and I didn't.
They asked the questions, and that was it. They didn't give no kickback, no feedback, nothing. And actually, they would turn the mics off if you went over the time.
Right.
These people, they weren't doing that. They weren't doing that. And I'm like, oh, so he's saying stuff in regards to his comments, but not really saying anything in regards to her comments.
Mm-hmm.
I zoomed in. I was there completely. So I'm so glad that I know some of the things that she was talking was what she said was a lie. I knew that. But to find all of these and to see the facts for each one, I know we've done videos on some of the stuff that she said was a lie. I'm like, what is you saying?
What you saying?
It's several instances of these people out here eating animals. Why would somebody make that up? Why would somebody call the police department on something like that? The man was on the way to orientation, and that was his number one priority. But by the way, since I'm on the way, I got to go ahead and let y'all know about this. But I can't be late. I can't go back. But this is what's going down. Come on.
And y'all sit there. What gets me? They try to call Trump a liar. Y'all steady focus on trying to call this man a liar when this woman just about lied about everything she said. But the thing is you can't prove. How you gonna prove Trump wrong on things he said? How you gonna say go back and fact check him on things he said? That wasn't the truth. But they got everything on the internet multiple times, and society is so stupid that they just run with her. She do her little mad face and time. She moved. Her movements were just like Joe Biden's on that debate with Trump. She look at him. No, it's not true. It's not true. The whole time you're lying, and it's proven.
Yes.
Y'all just don't like how the man say it, because if it was been like a Vivek or Tulsi saying it, you wouldn't have been like shake your head, because it would have been too
aggressive.
Too aggressive. Whereas Trump is he's like your granddad that's telling you the truth. He's been here around. He knows what's true and what's a lie, and they tried to utilize that.
Uncle. Yeah, and I mean the point is, Trump is going to give you solid some facts and statistics, and everything that he said can also be fact checked as well. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get a video and fact check Trump and fact, because some of the stuff I already know, because we've already done videos on some of the things that he's also talked about. So we definitely can put a video together with some of the points that he said and they called out. But Officer Tatum already did, kind of debunked, showed her lies. So he was actually fact checking Trump based off of her lies. How about that?
I personally think, and this is nothing, it's just my personal opinion, that this is what they were talking about in the polls today, talking about how all the sugar that sugar high that she was getting from that rally she did. This right after she did that, it's gonna tank.
Yeah.
This is going to, all those lies and being fact checked are going to destroy her as far as trying to be a president.
Yeah, you can't.
And the woman is probably going to, I wouldn't be surprised the woman I wouldn't be surprised the woman don't drop out of the race.
I don't know.
They got it. They'll have Joe Biden, that's not run, and she'll drop out. I wouldn't be surprised the woman don't go all the way through with it.
Well, I don't know. But I will say that I really like how Trump handled himself. I like how Trump handled himself. He gave some solid answers. He gave the facts. He gave the truth. And he has a track record. And the most profound statement, his closing argument, his closing statement is, if this is what you say you're going to do, then why haven't you already done it? Remember, y'all been in the White House for almost 4 years now, 3 point something, 89, 90 something years. And everything that you say you're going to do, if elected president, you could have already started moving the papers, shuffling the papers around, getting stuff done, please. Everything you say you could do, you could already do. You could already do.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You go in.
And
he said, wake up Joe Biden, wake him out of bed.
Right. Get him up.
Still tanning them nuts out there on the beach or at bed at 6 o'clock. So anyway, man, let's go and end this off. But I thought this was, I was like, okay, no, we got to do this. This is good right here. This is really good.
Great.
So,
shout out once again to Officer Tatum. We absolutely love his content.
Absolutely.
How he presents it. And there you go. You better wake up, great people. Do your own research, because it's out there. It's out there. Go look up the stuff Trump said. It's out there. It's out there. Well, it is out there.
I want to say 2024, fact check more.
That's right.
Talk less.
Talk less. That's right, guys. We appreciate your support. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
Yee.